Abdul Carter gets a clean bill of health. Draft sleepers, our guys. A top 33 mock bet. And has Lewis Riddick turned heel? Now on All Eyes on Cleveland. Welcome into the All Eyes on Cleveland show. We are on the OBR streaming network. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on your way in and out of the chat. We appreciate you being here. World's fastest. Good to see you here, brother, after storming out on Tuesday night because we were talking about the top 3 picks. Saw that, brother. Sorry to upset you so much. The man next to me, the one and only Casey Kinnamon, big case dog, 13 sleeps case. Is it really 13 sleeps case?
Yeah, the drop's 14 days from today. So
wow,
13 times and we'll be here.
Inside
that doesn't
of 2
count
weeks.
Naps, MC.
What?
That doesn't count naps, MC. You have to take more naps several times between then.
True. So what's happening, big case dog?
Well, off the top, I see the chat. I see you guys, and you're 100% right. I am the reason we were late, and this should surprise nobody who knows me. Is had some technical difficulties, had 0 volume, so we got to figure it out though, and we're gonna talk some nonsense.
Yeah, we're a bit of a mess tonight. I'm just gonna tell you off the top. We had 2 hours of dental work done today. I'm still a little bit numb.
You're a gamer.
A little loopy. So, but still showed up, quite sore at the moment. But we will get through it. Yeah.
What we do, you know.
It's what we do. I know that. That's what we do, me and you. So, all right, let's talk about some of the hot topics here. Get this stuff out of the way. Penn State edge rusher Abdul Carter was shown to have a foot injury during his medical evaluations at the scouting combine, but another examination today provided with good news. Carter's agent, Drew Rosenhaus, told Adam Schefter, well, of course, Rosenhaus is going to say this, right?
Well, I don't doubt that it went well, but I'm not taking that dude's word for it. So
correct.
Everyone's doctors, every team's going to have access to the medicals here. So this is a good thing.
That the stress reaction in Carter's foot is healing, has improved since it was last checked, and will not require surgery. Are you concerned at all about the 21-year-old's health in regards to this medical check and whatnot case?
Look, being injured going into this is never a good thing. Luckily for him, he had ridiculous tape, just freakish athleticism. He flashed on tape. But you can't lie to yourself and say that, like, there isn't a part of you that, like, if this becomes recurring, say he goes in the training camp, everything's fine, but week 6, something else happens with his foot. It's going to be your mind's going to go straight back to this moment.
For sure.
We saw the red flag, you know. But like I said, his tape's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So you just got to hope that the no surgery, and then he's doing all the rehabilitative things that you can do to strengthen all the muscles up around that area so that it's not an issue when he is able to go full go. But that's, you know, and hopefully for him, that's still a month or 2 away. You don't want to rush back something like this.
Yeah, it's interesting. I never really thought it was much of anything. You know, he's been working out, whatever. Mm-hmm. I understand there's a concern there. Yeah. I don't. There's somebody in our chat the other night saying that he had red flags as a prospect. I don't consider him to have.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard rumblings about some
He
attitude type stuff. But
he
like,
punched he punched somebody.
yeah,
Um, who was it?
I don't know. But who amongst us has not punched someone?
Yeah, I know. Come on. If that's what it takes, right?
Look, man, like part of being an elite athlete is being a psychopath.
Yeah.
If you're super well adjusted, I probably don't want you playing defensive line.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's not I don't think he's a bad kid or anything like that. I think he's a
yeah,
good
I don't
kid.
I don't have any evidence to point to that, but like
Yeah. Um,
Kramer said, a tow
the
driver. So he
the
punched a
it
tow truck
was
driver.
that's right.
We've all
It
been
was
there.
the tow truck driver. He was
We've
trying
all
to take
been
his
there.
car. Yeah, man.
No, but I just hope that if this is an isolated incident with his foot. I didn't believe for a second though that the reason he wasn't going to do stuff at the pro day was his shoulder. I just didn't buy that.
Yeah. So real quickly, at the risk of infuriating world's fastest, there's a lot of smoke trending towards Travis
Mhm.
Hunter this week. And are you buying that, or is that just the trend right now? Like chronologically for me, the it went everybody's thing. Abdul didn't work out, and then you chronologically had this showcase or whatever they call it,
Yeah.
in Boulder, and coming out of that, it's like Travis Hunter, Travis Hunter, Travis Hunter, and
Yeah, even though he
I,
really didn't do anything at the showcase. He ran some and one
some
routes.
and one routes,
You
yeah,
know what I mean? Like he didn't
yeah,
nothing that he did at the pro day. It's but this is like this draft is just cyclical, man. We see these ebbs and flows
yeah,
and then at first it was when Tennessee was bound they weren't going to take a quarterback, then it was like is it going to be Cam Ward or Abdul Carter? And then it became apparent that Tennessee's now locked in on Cam. So then it was Abdul Carter, and now Travis Hunter's kind of overtaken that. But these are when you finish with only 3 wins, you have some phenomenal prospects available to you in the draft. Like there's no wrong answer here, but it does feel the national perception is that Travis Hunter has that lead. Who knows what's going on in that building though? Andrew Berry's a phenomenal poker player.
yeah, man. They are so and admitted by all of the top, the top guys like Mayock. I heard say it. I heard McShay say it. They're like the Browns pick is where the draft starts. They don't know what they're gonna do. They're like we
Nope.
don't know. They have not tipped their hand either way.
Would I be absolutely
So
floored if it wasn't one of those two players? Yes.
yes, I would be too.
I would be floored if it wasn't one of those two players.
Would you be mad at a trade down?
Well, that's the other thing is, so we do these mocks, weekly for the OBR. You just your 10.0 just dropped today. So you do all these different scenarios, and I've had some phenomenal trade backs where I've traded back to anywhere from 5 to 10 and landed ridiculous players and a first for next year. So there are iterations that I wouldn't be mad at. People would be mad. The people would be pissed if they go back to 10 and take Armand Membu, who's a phenomenal tackle.
Yeah.
But the natives would be restless pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think that my thing with that case, and you tell me what you think, is that Cam Ward, Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, and then I feel like there's a drop off. Those are your blue chippers in this
Yeah.
draft. So if you don't, and you're at 2, and if you don't come away with one of them,
Mhm.
it can be seen as a fail because I feel like those 3 all have the ability to be truly special.
Yeah, yeah, and nationally, Cam's not even looked at as a blue chip. He's just the best quarterback. But
I
as
think
far
he's elite.
no, dude, we've had this conversation. I think he could be a top 8 guy in the league, and to me, that's
Yeah.
But there is a lot of projection based with that versus the tape of Carter and Hunter, which like Carter, it's simple. The path is simple. You put this dude at edge rusher. I mean, it's like see ball, get ball. You're opposite miles. You win numbers games. Like
Yeah.
there's a quick path to that dude being good.
Yeah,
Hunter, it's a wide thing because there's different areas you could play the kid in, so.
yeah. Well, how would you use him? If you say you're the coach, you're the GM of the Browns, how would you approach? Like, first off, Pete made this point the other night, and I think it's a good one. If you're going to take Travis Hunter, you need to have the conversation with him before you
Yeah.
put the pick in.
Yeah.
You guys need to be aligned
He's
in
got to be
the
on board.
process.
I've been saying that since day one. Is
Yeah.
the plan is the most important thing, and him being on board with said plan is huge.
Like if he's going to be I need to play both sides and you're not down with that, then that needs to be hashed out if you
Yeah.
want to take him. Where are you at with the both sides of the ball thing?
Okay. Here I am. Now, here's the problem with what I want to do with him is we've just never seen it. We have never seen someone be a full-time wide receiver and a part-time defensive back. But that's where I'm at. I think he can do so much as a corner. If you play him as a primary corner, you can take those guys out of a game just by not throwing at him. If he's playing full-time wide receiver, and I'm not saying like every single snap, obviously, but if he's playing 80% of the offensive snaps and 50% of the defensive snaps. Now that's hard to do because all that information you have to take in, especially as a rookie, those meetings are important, and being on the same page with everybody in your position room and all the calls. And there's just so much communication involved with defensive back. But like basically, man, I want to put as much on his plate as he can handle. That
Yeah.
changes as you get into it, though. So that might just be like a package or two on defense, and then and bring him along as a wide receiver. But the more he can handle, the more I'm going to give him. But we've seen it the opposite. We've always seen defensive backs, that can be part-time wide receivers. I think this goes the opposite way. I think that, and I don't know what that looks like. If you just primarily play him in zone packages at first because it's what he's comfortable with, or do you just throw him in the fire? It's fascinating.
Yeah. I Here's where I'm at. I think you know where I'm at with this. Like I view him as a wide receiver. And same as Andrew Berry. Like his ball skills are elite.
Mhm.
He has shown the elite athleticism and the ability to be a premier wide receiver. Is he unpolished to a certain degree? Yes.
Mhm.
But that I don't think it would take him long to figure this out. Working full time as wide receiver. So for me, job A is I need you to be a starting wide receiver on my football team. Once you show me that you can do that and you're producing at that level, then we'll talk about you playing on the other side of the football. And then I'm open to it, but you got to
Yeah.
show me that in the NFL you can do it on this side first because I'm
Yeah.
taking you as an offensive weapon. And then once you show that, then we can work you in on third down, situationally, sub packages, whatever.
Mhm.
If you want to do that, I think it's incredibly dangerous in the NFL to do that. But if I'm taking him, my expectation is for him to play wide receiver for me. Period. Anything else is a bonus.
Yeah. So my approach isn't too different from that. It's just here's the plate. What can you fit on your plate and be elite? Like it's asking a lot. I don't care. Like the most blue chip guys when they come in the league, it's very few guys are day one. They're the guy. But if he proves to do that, who am I to tell him he can't do it?
World's fastest looking down the line financially.
Now, I probably pointed out months ago. It was like, okay, say he does reach his ultimate potential. Say he does. Say he's a phenomenal defensive back and he's a all pro receiver. What does that second contract look like? Because you don't think back to Lev Bell. When Lev Bell came off his rookie deal and he wanted paid like a top 3 running back and a top 10 receiver, because he was statistically, he was both of those things.
He was both, yeah.
You know what I mean? And it got him in the hot water because Pittsburgh is like, no, we'll pay you like an elite running back, but we're not doing the other thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you're doing it on both sides of the ball, like that's an argument. Like
that's totally different.
Yeah. It brings up just, and these are great problems to have. I'm not saying they're deal breakers, but it is uncharted territory.
Yeah. Good. He's going to want more money. Yeah. I think he's going to want, highest. You're seeing wide receivers get the highest non-quarterback contract now. So if he's doing that, probably not to that level, but if he's doing that and playing, impacting defense for you or whatever else, return game on top of it, you're talking about a legit contract, which that's a good problem to have. Let's
Great,
be honest.
fantastic. But it
Great
is a
problem.
problem. Like, it is something that just because we've never seen it, just seen someone mitigate it. How do you give him the appropriate value that he's going to be happy with if he is actually taking that kind of workload?
This is my issue with it.
Yeah, it's legit too.
I just don't see how it's feasible. And I keep hearing people say, "Oh, the NFL game's slower. There's more time between snaps," and I don't care. It's more physical too. You're playing the best against athletes in the world. You're not
Mhm,
playing against Colorado State anymore. You know what I mean?
mhm.
Or BYU or whoever the hell is on their schedule out there. Um, but it's not the best of the best. And this is, and it's incredibly physical. And yeah, far cry from the NFL is right, Levi. So doing it out there and doing it in the NFL is a whole different.
Yeah, he has to prove it.
It's a
But
different universe.
the opposite is true, that if he does prove to be able to do that, whatever that workload is, whether it's 80 on one side of the ball, 20 on the other side of the ball, whatever that is, if he does get hurt, all of a sudden you have two holes to deal with. You know what I mean? In your lineup. So
Yeah, yeah. The injury becomes a real issue then, which is
yeah.
why, at the most, once again, I'm not. He's never playing full time both ways. Let's just rule that out. Like, that's crazy to me. That you can't do that in the NFL. It's not going to hold up. He'll get beat up. He
Mhm.
won't be able to do it. He's 180 pounds, to Fumble's point, right? Like, that's just not realistic. I don't believe. Um, can he moonlight on the defensive side of the ball on big third down situations? Yes,
Yeah.
maybe,
My
maybe. But
and
the
just the
first thing
style
I
of
need
play,
you
like
to
if I were
do,
going to do that and say moonlight, just like,
yeah,
and he's been a corner his whole life. He's going to hate what I'm about to say, but like, I would try the kid at free safety in certain
hmm
packages, just because
no,
what he's able to do with his eyes. When you
yeah,
look at he's so
it's his
athletically gifted,
instincts.
but when you watch the plays that he made on defense in college, he did that with his brain.
Yeah.
His ability to bait quarterbacks in the throws and then use his athleticism and closing speed, ball tracking, the whole nine. I just think that, you could, if you were going to play moonlight, like literally, I'm going to give you 12 snaps on defense. I think he can make a big difference as a free safety and obvious passing downs.
His most unique skill is so his athleticism. He's just a freak athlete. He's
Yeah.
twitched up beyond anything.
Yeah.
And B, his ball skills for me. And I thought that Andrew Berry and Stefanski laid this out well in that. I mean, the ball skills are going to come into play twice a game at corner, whereas over the course of the season, they're going to come in to play 100 times at wide receiver,
Yeah.
um, which makes sense to me. And the twitched up factor and the elite athlete factor, he's going to separate. I mean, he's going to do special things on the football field if you throw the ball in his direction, I think. And I think he's an elite weapon, and can be, and I think he can be a really special player. So I think you have to consider him at 2. Where are you now before we move on from this? Where are you now?
Well,
What would you want? Are you on Abdul still?
no, my mock comes out on same as you. My 10.0 comes out, and these last two mocks I'm doing differently. All these other ones have just been thought experiments. You know what I mean? Seeing where people
Mhm.
slide. And at first, I took the guys that I wanted it to, and then I started playing around with draft position. Well, this Saturday is a stick and pick what I would do. Next Saturday is going to be a stick and pick what I think the Browns will do.
Good.
I'm
Good
doing
stuff.
what I would do. And spoiler alert, yes, at 2 I have Travis Hunter.
Yeah. That's where I'm at right now. And it's hard to not let the mass media impact you. But like when I watch him, I think he'll be special at whatever you ask him to do.
There's a wider variance, so it'll be harder for him to fail because of his skill set.
Right.
You're going to find a spot for this kid on the field.
Now,
And he
I
can be
do think
massively impactful.
I think Carter is just as I think they're about equal as a non-bust factor. Like, I
Mhm.
don't really worry about either of them as a bust.
No, if Carter was going to a team that didn't have an A plus edge rush on the other side, it'd be easier to
To bust.
slow him up, not bust so much, but like you think of
Oh,
someone
there's
like Trayvon
progression.
Walker when he goes to Jacksonville, it's easier to hide, but you
Yep.
can't hide when you're opposite Miles. You can't like there's
Yeah.
teams are going to have to deal with that.
Um, and I'm with Kramer at this point, and it's not even like it's just that like I think I view them equally, and at this point, I think an offensive weapon means more to the Browns.
If they both reach their absolute ceilings, Travis will affect the game more than Abdul will.
That's where I'm at. Well said, very well said. I think Pete would disagree, and
Mhm.
Jeff would too.
Oh, yeah,
They're
they will.
Carter guys, huh?
And then there's no, I mean, that's dude. It's like I said, when you only win 3 games, you have phenomenal prospects available to you
Yeah,
when you're
yeah,
drafting 2 overall. These aren't. There's not. It's not a baddie. I'm not going to be mad if they go with Abdul Carter.
yeah. I'm not gonna be
You
mad
know.
either. I'll be happy either way. But between for me, it's between those. It's those two.
Mhm.
That's it. Um, Trade back scenarios. Anything you would consider? There was one the other night. Where's Tampa or where's Carolina pick?
9.
What if Carolina wanted to
Or
come
no,
up?
sorry, not 9. Nine's new. 9 is New Orleans. Um,
I think it's like
might be 8
it might be 8.
because
I think it
7's
is.
Jets.
It's 8. It's 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 8. So the other night there was this scenario on UCSS, and it was like, oh, yeah, thank you, fumble. If you Carolina wanted to come up and get Hunter Carter, whatever, um, and or whoever they wanted to get, and they were like, "We'll give you our, I think it's like 39. So we'll give
Mhm.
you 8, 39, and our first
Mhm.
next year
Yep.
to come up to
To 2. Yeah.
2. Would you do it?
Interestingly enough, on the OBR draft show this last week, on our mock draft show, Sam Penix made that trade, that exact trade to Carolina. Um, the key is if you're trading with someone and you're getting a future first, it has to be a team that you could squint your eyes and see a scenario where they finish with another top 10, bottom 10 finish.
I don't see how they don't. They're one of the teams I think that has the most likelihood to finish in the bottom 10.
Yeah. So I mean, you have to consider that, right?
Oh, you have to have a serious conversation about it, and I think I
Yeah.
would probably do it. I think I would probably do it because at
Mhm.
8 I can still get. It's not a blue chip player, but I can still get a starter, right? And the Carolina pick for next year, it actually makes like it makes getting your franchise quarterback become a reality for me because now you
Mhm.
got 2 first round picks going into next year. One of them you're expecting to be high. Um,
And
yeah,
there's
man,
definitely a world where Bryce Young doesn't take that next step, and you know,
in a bad division, yeah, I get it.
yeah.
But either way, it's still first.
Mhm.
Worst case scenario,
It's ammo.
and you're getting 39 back too. So you go 8, 33, 39. I mean, those are 3 valuable picks right there. Um, but I get your point that the top 2 players are elite. It would be hard to do that, but ultimately, every decision you make around the draft case, at least in my opinion, you have to have your franchise quarterback in. Like, that has to play a part in every move you make.
Every single move.
How are we getting our franchise quarterback?
Mhm.
And this gives you the best path to that,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
I
So,
see Aaron's question. What about the Bears one pick above? Because someone on PFF did it. Well, they copied me because I did that last Saturday. That's who I traded with.
yeah, Bears are right in that realm as well.
Hmm. Yeah.
I can squint my eyes and see that outcome.
Well, they're in a very tough division. It's going to be tough for them to make the come up over Detroit, Green Bay, and Minnesota. So it feels even they could have a better season. It feels like they probably finished in last in their division, unless
Yeah,
someone gets hurt or something. So is that I mean, don't get me wrong. They I didn't think they'd have this. I didn't think they'd be drafting 10th this year. I figured they'd have been a bottom 5 team this year.
yeah. Um,
But to answer your question, as far as trading back, I don't trade back unless it nets me a first next year. That's like the first.
first qualification.
Yeah, or we can't have, and I don't want to fall too back far, into this pecking order this year. But at the same time, like if it doesn't net me a first next year, if it
Yeah.
doesn't help me see a path to a future quarterback, then what are we doing?
Then exactly. Yeah, that's the only reason you're doing it is to set yourself up for this class next year.
Mm-hmm.
You're watching All Eyes on Cleveland. That's Casey Kinnamon. I'm Brad Ward. Keep it locked at the OBR. Hit like and subscribe on your way in and out. OBR.com, wall-to-wall coverage. Case's mock. My mock's out today. The Our draft coverage, Draft Cave 2025, wall-to-wall. We're going to go live an hour before pick one, which will be Thursday night, which would normally be our showcase. So, if we probably hop in there, have some people on with us, go an hour up to the draft, because very quickly the Browns will go on the clock. Man, that night is going to be so much fun. So yeah, so stick with us, and we're gonna do another giveaway.
Yes.
Case's idea last night. If I showed you our text thread last night, it was pretty funny. Um, Case is talking to me about a top. Go ahead, tell the folks your
Well,
the newest bet.
first of so Jacob Roach is doing a thing where he's doing everyone you can do a first round mock 1 through 32, send it to Jacob, $5 entry fee. The winner gets a shirt, but the proceeds go to an autism charity. We're going to do the same thing. The one I do for this is I'm going to submit to that, but me and Brad are each going to do the first 33 picks, and we're going to score it the same way. So if you get the player, that's worth a point. If in the first round, if you get it in the actual draft position, it's an extra point. If you get it to the team you predict, that's 3 points. The loser of this will have another thing where we pick someone out of the chat, and you guys get to win a shirt of your choice. But you got to be
Yep.
rocking with us. So that'll be fun
Every,
on night one to follow along with the draft because we're going to have a running tally going,
oh
you
yeah.
know. And if the game's out of reach at the end of night one, we'll pick the winner that night. If not, it goes over to the 33rd pick. But this also gives us
Woo.
the clearest vision of who the 33rd pick could be, according to us. If we're actually going 1 through 32 and seeing how accurate we can be. The phrase
I
of the night
love
will
it.
be on Thursday will be, I believe I had that.
Yes. You believe you had what?
If we get the picks right, like if we're as the Thursday night's unfolding,
Yeah.
and you had Matthew Golden to 12 to the Cowboys or whatever when they announced the pick, I believe I had that.
Points. And everybody wins,
Yeah, you
including the
guys.
charity.
Yeah, I'm submitting mine to charity, but Jacob we should put the post that Jacob did under this tonight
Yeah,
in the
that's
thread
fine.
so people can see it and sign up. And it's, you guys are all watching the draft anyway, man. Just do a mock draft 1 through 32, any mock draft simulator, screenshot it, send it to Jacob. He'll tell you where to send the $5. It supports a good charity, and the winner gets a t-shirt.
And yeah, and then we're also just between me and you, one on one, we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
pick whoever wins. The
Yep.
loser has to pick somebody, right?
Yep. Yeah,
And buy him
or
a
we could
t-shirt.
just pick like a number, and then we could just count through the chat,
Yeah,
76, and then the 76 response of that night of the live chat.
yeah,
So you have to be active in the live chat to get this, people.
yeah. I love that. So we love getting our bets, getting people involved in the chat. We want to make it all inclusive. Everybody wins. Says Larry. You're right.
But he says
Everybody
something else
does
after that.
when I believe I don't have that, says World's Fastest. Spam
There'll be
Kinnamon
several of those.
already has the winner, his buddy, like he did last time. All right, so what I don't what does that mean? His buddy?
No, the last time we did a thing, you picked the person, and it was Josh Clater. I just happened to know Josh, but I live in
Oh,
South Carolina, Kramer. I don't live next to any of you people, so
oh,
no. I never even met Josh in person. Only know him through Twitter.
chicanery, being accused by Kramer.
No,
Imagine
Dart in the
that.
first round doesn't earn you extra points, but if you predict him, you get a point for picking him, and if you get to the spot and the pick, it's 3 points.
And spam.
Yeah, and you guys look, man. If you guys really truly believe he's going in the first round, I'm playing at a disadvantage because I can't at this point mock him in the first round. I got to go down on my sword. You know what I mean? So if you guys believe that's a no brainer, I can't put him in my first round mock.
World's Fastest, you are my people. You are my people.
Just so you know, this spam shit's following me everywhere I go.
What do you mean?
People are sending me stuff, man. People are commenting on other videos, and they are invested in seeing me fail, eat spam, and people keep trying to change the bet and add tomatoes to it.
Tomatoes
That'll never happen.
to it. Look at Kramer's.
I know, dude. I know. I'm saying, dude, people are invested in seeing me lose this bet.
Oh, don't make me laugh, dude. It hurts so bad. Don't do it. Oh my god, made me laugh. Spam is never a fail. The spam bet has evolved into a massive thing,
and it's been going on forever, dude. Like this has been going on since
and
the regular season was still going on when we made the bet,
and it's still like really up in the air.
Yeah, it's
like it could go either way. I will say, Vegas knows they have 3.5 quarterbacks in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think those 3 are?
Well, Jalen Milroe got invited to the green room of the draft and accepted. I wouldn't have done that if I was him.
I know. I think his floor is 34. I don't think he gets past 34 in any world. I think that's why they felt comfortable inviting him.
Yeah, but him accepting if you go there and don't get picked, Will Levis story. If you're in that green room and you don't get picked, that's every time they flashed you. It's just brutal, and it doesn't go away in our memories. Like,
you know what? I mean, nobody expects him to go early. You're right, bro. Oh, that sounds so nice right now. I'm in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
If you can't tell.
You're gutting through it.
I'm gonna text my wife real quick to take the what's that stuff called that numbs your
Oragel?
Oragel.
World's fastest. Now that he's your people's again, he's giving you medical advice.
Well, that's some good advice right there. If
one time I busted my mouth all open. Looked like someone hit me with a ball bat. I looked like Shrek, and I had stitches all in my mouth. And there's like 4 or 5 days later, the stitches were still in, and my dude made me laugh so hard. I popped one, and it's like someone plucking a guitar string. You could hear it.
Scotch, Jack Daniels. So they did today. It's pretty wild. 7 cavities.
So they put in work.
7 cavities were filled today.
Yeah.
Can you tell I'm swollen?
No, you don't look swollen.
I feel swollen.
But I can tell by the way you're messing with your cheeks, you're feeling it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Dude.
I hate that smell. Like, when they drill into a tooth, you can smell it kind of.
Yeah.
That sound.
My dentist would only do 2 at a time. Yeah. Yikes. How much candy do you eat? It's not really about candy. It kind of runs in my family. My mom has had cavities her whole life.
Yeah, I got deep grooved teeth on in the
Yeah.
back, so there's like crevices, and I grind my teeth, so like I've cracked. I've had to have sealants put in, but when I messed up my mouth, my front tooth came through my um, the root came through my gum,
Oh.
and I had to have a root canal on that one. They saved it. They were able to get it back in place, but it died because the trauma. And I had to have a root canal. That was horrible, man.
So we'll get it real deep into this now. So I never had to have braces, never anything, right? Um, and in high school, thanks, Rocky. In high school, I how do I breach this topic?
I don't know.
I played I played basketball in high school
Hmm.
and played against LeBron James. Have you
You
seen
did.
that? Have you seen the article?
I've seen the clipping of your name.
Yeah,
You
I,
outscored LeBron in said game.
I did. I had 15 points. Um, Now that was his first ever high school basketball game, and I was a senior.
Whatever,
But
dude. You're
still,
letting the details get in the way.
anyways,
You
um,
outscored LeBron, dude. Should be it.
yeah, and we lost by 40, and they went undefeated that year and won the state championship. But and little did we know who he even was at that point, right?
Yeah.
Um, but that my junior year, I was screwing around with a member of the fair sex who had a boyfriend. Homewrecker, call me what you want to call me,
You were a
whatever.
junior in high school, bro.
I was in
Not
high
going to call
school.
you a home
I was
wrecker.
17 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't call me a homewrecker, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, and uh, I'm at school one day and you dirty dog. Yeah, and I did. I got knocked the F out. So I was there's this rumor that his little soccer punk, player guy's boyfriend, girlfriend or whatever. So and she was trouble. She was trouble, but I was into trouble then,
You're 17,
17.
man.
And homecoming record, that's good, world's fastest. So he came up to me and I kept hearing all day, he's gonna come confront you, right? And I was like, whatever, dude. I don't care. It's getting ready for basketball practice, staying outside my locker, and the dude comes up to you and he grabs my shirt like this, right? Against my locker. And I put my hands on his hands because I was like, I'm not gonna let him just get one off. You know
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
mean? And he does this thing. Just let me talk. Just let me talk. I just want to talk to you, bro. I just want to talk to you. Just let me talk. So it's like, so I said, all right, man, say what you have to say. As soon as I took my hands off, boom, knocked this tooth clean out.
Hmm.
There was a melee. Um, and yeah.
It's a rough
So
day.
he was a state, along with being a soccer player, he was a state caliber pole vaulter. And when he punched my tooth out, um, he screwed up his hand and was
Good.
unable to he was unable to compete in his states. So anyways,
You were
yeah,
pole
not
vaulting with this lady, so it's okay.
so my buddy, yeah. So my buddy went and grabbed the tooth, put it in milk. I went straight to the dentist. They popped that sucker back in there. couple of years later, I had a root canal, but it was the same tooth.
Yeah.
Um, and then but that was the beginning of my the breakdown
The
because then
dental
I had to have
misadventures. So
yeah.
hold on. So you putting a tooth in milk like sustains its
It
viability?
saves it. It keeps it alive long enough for you to get to that, which I had no idea of.
No,
But
I'm learning this today. Like,
yeah, yeah. But my friend knew was smart enough to put it in one of those, one of those little school milk
yeah.
carton things, right?
This kid,
Protein.
was he a Boy Scout? Like, who has that knowledge in
That,
high school?
and
Like,
it was like the least kid you would expect to like know that, like, you know what I
yeah,
mean? But he did it. He's like, oh, like give me some. Yeah, right? So I was able to get it put back in. Eventually, it came out. So
yeah.
that started all this, and then uh, I got some cavities, and then it's just gotten worse. And then I've been putting it off for a long time, but it's gonna feel better. My teeth are gonna look better, but right now,
Yeah, you can't
pretty
run from tooth pain, bro. You can't run
hurt
from tooth pain. You just can't.
hurting. I'm hurting pretty bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, did I get money from the tramp ferry? I didn't. It's crazy what a tooth can do to you because and one of the few times I've punched somebody, I messed up my hand really bad on their tooth. Not that to get like whatever, but
Was he a
was
tow
it
truck
worth
driver?
it? Um, was it worth it? Yeah, it's life, man. You learn, you
Yeah.
live and you learn,
Yeah.
Rocky. I wouldn't change a thing. Um,
I
I
mean, you should have
mean,
just held onto his hands.
I
Change that part.
that's what I would have to change is the
Don't
let
let
me
go of his hands.
talk. Just let me talk. Just let me talk.
Cool. Get outside my arm's length.
Yeah, back up, right?
Mhm.
And that's the thing I will learn from that mostly. You know, um, would I change the part with the girl? No, because he was a punk ass anyways. I had no respect for him. So, but we live and we learn, right? 17 years old. It's not like they were married or anything.
Yeah. Well, that's the
She
thing is, as long as you
she
learn, then it's an
she
experience
approached.
and
It's not
part
like
of your
I
life.
went after her. She approached me. It wasn't like,
Oh yeah, man, you're out there outscoring LeBron James, bro. I don't know.
oh,
Just
shut
tell you.
up, stop that nonsense. Um,
Yeah, I'd bring that up in every conversation I ever have with anybody ever. If I had outscored LeBron James.
yeah, Philly's right. Oh, my bad. Girls are on the highlight reel for sure, for sure. Yeah, she was trouble for sure. Um, but yeah, that's uh, that's the story behind the beginning of the tooth. Moreover, King James, King Ward isn't. Yeah, no, yeah, it wasn't like that. We got crushed by 50. Let's not go there. But the newspaper clipping is floating around out there on social
Well,
media.
Windhorse is who I seen put it out.
Yeah.
Wind
Oh yeah.
and this is before I even knew you. I was like, Wendy's burying the lead.
The Wendy. So that's what makes that thing that what LeBron did to him on McAfee show so messed up. Did you see that clip?
No, I didn't.
This this dude he brought up Windhurst and he was like, this dude's been trying to act like my friend for years. Windhurst went to St. Vincent St. Mary, which is right here where I live in
Yeah.
Akron, and uh with LeBron. So he's been covering him his whole life, literally. And covered that game, but then rose with him. Not that Windhurst isn't amazing at what he does, he is. But yeah, Wendy was on that game, our high school game. Wild, right? He
Yeah.
writes that article and then now he's working for ESPN. Um, yeah, I thought they were close too. The way that Windhurst just covered him fumble, you would have thought that they had a relationship their whole life. Now he's never like taken it easy on him in his critical moments, but like he's been very fair to him his whole life.
Yeah.
And he I mean, he went to Miami and covered him in Miami. It's not like,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? He got his first job at like ESPN as LeBron got drafted by the Cavs, all that stuff. So his career has elevated with LeBron. Now he's tremendous at covering the league now, so he can stand on his own validity at this point.
Yeah.
But for LeBron to do him like that was like, what is that? You know what I mean? This dude been covering you since high school. Like, how LA is that?
Yeah, he's clearly put in the work, you know, and that was a smart business decision, attaching yourself to LeBron as far as an entry
Very
point
smart.
to get into the business. You know what I mean? That's like anything else, man. Like
So one of my friends growing up in Cuyahoga Falls was Maverick Carter. Do you know Maverick?
I know who
You
he
know,
is. I don't know him, obviously. But
so
yeah,
he went to Falls for middle school, so I knew him. Went to school with him. Good in our friend group, like played baseball, wiffle ball, out on the streets with this dude. Right?
mhm,
He freaking runs Nike LeBron's empire through Nike now.
yeah,
Um, but Mav is another guy who went to school, did the right things, attached himself to LeBron. He was a senior, same age as me when LeBron was a freshman, but obviously identified that his talent and then kind of rode that to the
yeah. He probably
top.
looked
As
out for him along the way until
yeah, there's the yeah. So, anyways, um, I don't know how we got on all this, but
because you outscored him, dog. I'll never let you forget it. That's how we got on it.
um, yeah, you live and you learn, man. Girls make you do dumb stuff, especially when you're young.
Yeah,
You know.
17's a wild age for a young man.
Yeah, I mean that was just the beginning of someday we'll go through the story of my existence back then, but it was pretty wild because I
Not
was
me. I'm super tame.
yeah right. I don't believe that
Super,
for a second.
super. Don't ask anybody who knew me.
So yeah, then in the next year, I was diagnosed with cancer
Yeah.
at age 18.
Not to get too deep into that, but you've had that come back and you've had to
Twice,
twice. Yeah.
not the same kind.
No, I see that's something I didn't know about you. I figured it
Yeah,
had been
so yeah, I had the most serious one was the one I had when I was 18, and um, no, I was born in Illyria, chef. Um, so the uh, yeah, I was diagnosed, and then I had to have radiation therapy every morning before school, my senior year of high school, at 6 a.m. Right, and then it was in the spring, so it was after basketball season was over and everything, and then I had to have 5 surgeries in one summer,
oh my
and
God.
then um, I went away to Ohio University, where at that point, like, there's two ways you can take like a cancer diagnosis, right? A lot of people are like, "Oh, wow, it made me smell the flowers more," and I get that, and it can definitely do that too. You know what I mean? Like, I appreciate life more. You know what I mean? Like, but like, I was mad. Like, and at 18, you are less likely to be like, "Oh, I want to smell the flowers more," and more likely, like, it makes you feel your mortality.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Your ride just started.
Like, I'm just getting started, and I
Yep.
had now I'm like worried about this, right? So I was like, "Fuck it," when I got to Athens, Ohio.
Yeah. Me too.
I was like,
What year were
fuck.
you in? What year did you live in Athens?
I was there for 3.5 years of madness.
What year did you get there? Like
2000.
I was there. I was living in Athens in the year. I was living in the plains technically in the year 2000. But yeah.
Did you go to school there?
No. So I got kicked out of I got kicked out of OU. It was supposed to like the lady told me it was for life. It was only 7 years, but that happened. So then I went to Hawking, which wasn't Hawking College. It was Hawking Tech then. That was in Nelsonville, but I lived in the plains. But I partied in Athens. That's where I did all my damage.
Yeah. Oh, of course. How can you
Yeah.
not? The
The
that
lady,
little
her name was Diane DeKroger, and there was an incident, and she told me I was banned from OU for life. Not even just like school. I wasn't allowed to be on any school property or anything. But then I got a letter saying it was only 7 years, so I could go back.
Athens is a little slice of heaven.
So world's fastest. What's crazy is they don't pronounce it Chauncey the way it's spelled there. I know that. That's how they tell you. They can tell if you're not from around there or not.
Yeah.
Halloween party is epic. I always enjoyed that. I got on TV there during a Halloween parade once.
Really?
Yeah, there was I don't know if they were the OU actual band, but like during the the madness on Halloween, I was standing there and
on Court Street.
A full piece band came through, but they were playing like not real instruments. Like were, and there was a TV camera, and I ended up being on TV from
that. Yeah, they always had cops on horses during that, and I never understood why they would do that. Like it puts them at a disadvantage in that situation, don't you think?
Yeah, and all the loud noise, those horses have to deal with all of us.
All the noise,
all of
like
us,
all the kids are up and down. Like by 2 in the morning, all the kids are out of the side of the bar. As soon as the bars close, there's just all these people out, lined up, and down the street just come these cops on horses, like to try to clear everything out. But everybody just stands there.
Yeah.
In a mass. Like, I don't know, it's crazy. Yeah, so but to wrap all that up, the 2 times that it came back, the cancer came back, was a result. How crazy is this, right? So, and it was indirectly a result from the first one. So it was from the radiation therapy
treatment. Yeah.
And the like when you have surgery like that, the scar tissue. So they're like the combination of the trauma to this part of your body, the scar tissue, and the radiation therapy has created basically an area where you are susceptible to the cancer cells. So indirectly the treatment caused the second 2 bouts.
Did the second 2 have to be surgically taken out, or did you have to undergo more radiation?
Yep. Good for you, chef. Good for you, brother. Good for you. So, they did this. This is they call it a Mohs surgery. They take like a layer of your skin, they put it under the microscope. It takes forever because they check and they keep going until they have clean cells.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So the burrito buggy for sure, bro.
Yeah, the burrito buggy.
What was it called? I hope that you're doing well, Matt. Hope you're doing well, brother. Yeah, I'm not. I've never really talked about this on a podcast. I just, we were talking personal stuff, so I thought I'd. I hope you're doing well, chef. But everybody's got their story, man.
Yep.
Everybody's got the stuff they've
Yep.
been through.
And we start talking about cancer. Like cancer is one of those things that I don't know anybody who's completely unaffected by it. If you haven't dealt with it personally, someone in your immediate family that's had to deal with it. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah, 100%. It impacts everybody. Larry, I hope you're doing well, brother. I hope you come out the other side if you're still there, man. My thoughts will be with you. So I appreciate everybody. Sorry,
well,
Manimal. Too much sharing for you. I apologize. Uh,
I do want to do a couple quick Athens shout outs while we're on it though. If anyone from that area, man, DP Dough, that place would deliver at
oh,
4 in the morning, dude.
oh,
4 in the morning, DP Dough. Like if you've been there, man, that's as clutch gets.
that is as clutch. And those things,
It's a
DP
box of burrito.
DP dough in a box. I think what my like the buffalo chicken one was my favorite.
It's called the school
Oh,
zone, brother. It was called the school zone.
Buffalo Zone.
I had a school zone, and it was a buffalo with banana peppers. It was basically like a Philly cheese, but with buffalo chicken.
Best wishes to you, chef. Good to hear that you're clean bill there. Yeah, the zones, the Buffalo zone, all the zones. I forgot they were all zones. I wonder if
Yeah,
we
they're
could
on
bring up
him
a
something zone. But the
menu.
fact that they would deliver at like 3, 4 in the morning, dude, like that, you
DP Dough Food Company. Dude, they have one in Akron. Get out
shut
of
up for
here.
real.
And Kent. They're probably going for all the college towns.
That's smart though, right? I
Yeah.
mean, I didn't know they were franchised. In my because it was right, it was on Richland Ave, and like right down the street was Taco John's, which is another spot that I frequented way too much. Are those two establishments?
Yeah, dude, this was so they had to have done this recently.
It's smart though. Look at my
Let me
Taco John's people in the chat. What's up? The great unifier.
yeah.
There's also a Chinese place that was on. It was above a record store back in the day. There's a record store downstairs, and there was a Chinese place upstairs. I mean, I don't remember the name of the Chinese place, but I crushed there all day.
Buffer zone.
Hold on, there's a danger zone. Go down.
The safety zone? Where's danger zone? Oh, right there.
Yeah.
Hamburger, cheddar, onions, hot sauce, taco seasoning.
Is that what Russell has?
Huh?
Is that what Russell gets?
Oh, really?
I don't know. Danger zone.
Oh, dangerous.
You get it now. I might have seen my school zone on there.
I don't even think that's a thing, Brody.
No, it was. Trust me, bub. School zone.
I don't see the Buffalo zone either, which is what it was back in the Dizzy.
Yeah, like I'm talking about from 99 to 01. So
yeah. The work zone, steak, tots, and mozzarella. Dude, they'll throw anything in these things.
It was clutch though, man. Like if you know, you know.
You know. Yeah, they were really good. Chicken bacon zone. That sounds pretty good. The comfort zone. Tomatoes. You need to come up with a spam. Where's the spam zone?
I'll never know.
Where's the spam zone? Spam, tomato, cheese. They call it the Casey zone.
Sewer rat may taste like pumpkin pie, but I'll never know.
The case zone.
Motherfucker.
The case zone.
Just spam and tomatoes. Just
spam and tomato. That's all you get. All
right,
so I want to go through. I want to go through this. You're watching All Eyes on Cleveland. That's Casey Kinnamon. My name is Brad Ward. Sorry to get all touchy feely on you tonight, folks. But I hurt, and I'm a little loopy.
He's
So
he's vulnerable, folks.
I'm vulnerable right now. All right.
It's all good, man. I think this is awesome. You know, these people meet up with us every week.
Yeah.
They know things about us, and just let them inside that window, and then you find out things about them. You know.
Yeah. The Kinnamon. Ooh, that's the best name. But yeah, all of you guys, Larry, everybody out there that's ever struggled with, I mean, everybody struggles with their own thing. It's all relevant. So really, the turkey hole zone. That's what I'm talking about. The greasy ham loaf zone. What does DP mean? I don't know.
I've never questioned it a second in my life.
I know. Top 30 visit tracker.
All right. I'll say this. So when you just look at this as a whole, you look at the positions that you want to see filled, you want to see them bring people into the fold. I was very underwhelmed by the wide receivers that they brought in for their visits. Like so underwhelmed that it's like, this can't be real. But I love the tight ends.
Isaiah Bond, no.
Tez
Johnson, no.
I'm out. Those are the two receivers. Because in my mind, I don't know if it's the same for you. Like when I think of like, okay, we need to add a receiver to this. If you're not a dynamic mover, like otherworldly, I need you to be big.
Yeah.
I need some size in this room. And there's some in this draft.
A.O. Maynor.
I'd even go so, obviously like Higgins is another one for me. Batch is another one. I like Jack a great deal. He's not huge. He's more of a tweener, but he's physical as shit. I look at those type guys. And they didn't. They went and got little itty bitty dudes who are like underwhelming to me.
Yeah.
But if you look at the tight ends, it's Elijah Arroyo, it's Mason Taylor, Fannin, Terrence Ferguson. So they're very serious. And I like the styles of all the tight ends they brought. They're a little different from each other.
Yeah.
But they're all people that, I'm definitely down with.
Yeah. So the top 5 is obviously Shador, Travis, Abdul, Cam, right? Mm-hmm. Will Campbell, Tez Johnson, Tyler Shuck, Nick Martin, linebacker, Oklahoma State.
Love that dude. Yes.
Harold Fannin Jr.
Yes.
We talked about. Isaiah Bond is, no.
He just turned himself in today on a sexual assault case or something.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
No.
Deion Walker, defensive tackle, Kentucky. Okay. That's a depth guy, right? Like, that's a later round. That's not a top 30 pick.
No. He'll go within the first go. He's so big. He's not athletic. He actually tested so poorly, like that it's laughable. But and his tape is full of. He's won by being bigger and just is, but he's not sudden. He doesn't have, but if you're if you need a brute squad type guy, a 6'7", 340-pound man, like there's not a lot of those guys walking around. Right. I get just kicking the tires on him, but you're going to have to refine that dude's game. He's got zero technique.
Harold Spamman Jr.
Nice. I just like the possibilities he would open up in a playbook.
Yeah, for sure. He's fun. Quinshon Judkins, Nick Scourton. Is that how you say that?
Yeah.
He's great second option if you're not going to go Abdul. Could be there. Maybe could be there at 33. I don't know.
I think he will.
Yeah. Mason Graham. He's a top 10 guy.
Yeah, but that when they start bringing those kind of guys in, you're like, okay, so they're also kicking the tires. What if we do get a trade back option? What if Jacksonville's like, we need Abdul Carter, and then you're like, okay, bring these guys in, see what they have.
So where do you have like the tight ends, Mason Taylor and Arroyo?
Mm-hmm.
right?
Fannin and
As you
Ferguson.
mentioned, Jalen Walker, who is like an even lighter version of Abdul,
Mm-hmm.
but still very freakish.
Yeah, he was a
Gonna
better
go in,
linebacker than Abdul was when they were both linebackers.
yeah,
Not that Abdul was bad. He just, obviously. But
yeah.
but Georgia kept like honeydicking their fans. They'd be like, "Hey, look, we know he can rush the passer. We're going to start doing more of that with him." And then they never would. They just never would do the thing. So like the kid got played out of position. He wants to play linebacker at the next level, but if I'm him, if I'm the team, I'm like, "Nah, dog, you're an edge rusher. We'll mix in the other stuff later." But
Yeah,
I digress.
they're honey dicking their fans.
They did, man. They lied several times. They're like, "Yeah, we're gonna have him rush the passer more," and they just never did it.
Um,
Sure, he'll be a top 10 pick as an edge rusher, but let's not play him there.
yeah, but he is gonna be
He should.
top 15, right?
I, when I don't want to like give too much away, but when we're doing these mocks and you're looking at like if he makes it past if Carolina stays where they're at, I don't know if he makes it past them.
Agreed. All right. Derek Harmon is on here.
Mm-hmm.
He's a second round guy, right?
I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up with Philadelphia at the very end of the first.
Okay.
I think that's kind of where it begins for him, though.
Then Dart Milrow.
Mm-hmm.
I put this guy in my mock just because they had him in yesterday or 2 days ago. Omar Norman Lott.
Mm-hmm.
He's got some fun tape.
Yeah, there's a bunch of these guys who are shorter for defensive tackle. Jamari Caldwell in Oregon, but they have long arms, but they're like short dudes, but they're like crazy bursty and huge. Like Norman Lott, he's a pass rusher though. So
yeah, for sure. He fits the profile.
Yeah, he gets upfield. So does Harmon though. If you look at Harmon, dude, Harmon's constantly in the backfield. He might miss the tackle, he might completely blow his assignment, but he's going to be in the backfield.
So, and then Tootin had him in with a few running backs. My guy.
Yeah, and when we talk about like, okay, they're going to go back into Stefanski's wheelhouse. Well, that is a wide zone dude right there.
Yeah,
super fast. He has issues with fumbling, but his tape's like riddled with him just carrying the ball outside of his frame. You can tighten that up.
Yeah,
you have to. You have to tighten that up. By the way, you know what though? He had 0 runs where the quarterback was under center.
Really?
At Virginia Tech.
That makes sense, I guess. I never really thought about that for a back, the impact of that. Well, how does that change your evaluation of him? It doesn't, right?
No. Physically, I still think this kid's a wide zone. He sticks 1 foot in, make one dude miss, and he could do it. He could be a house call guy.
Dude, he's a freaky speed guy.
Yeah, and dude, and like we keep talking. I know people get mad at me when I say it all the time, but like I really want to stop having a return guy who's just a return guy. To the guy he'll add to your running back room, and he could be your return guy, and you get roster flexibility that way.
I saw, we had the day we talked about that. Me and you were bitching about that on here because they signed what's his name. There was quite a few YouTube comments on the playbacks about us bitching about that.
Yeah, man, I'm just sick of it, dude. We're in year 5 of it. Like, it'd be different if it was something we're trying this year. It's like
evolve.
Let's
evolve past this. Yeah, come on.
Trying it. And that doesn't mean everyone fails. Like it'll always fail going forward, but it's failed so far. I can say that. Yeah. Yep. OG in the chat pointing out Scadaboo visited.
Yeah, I'm about to get there. So Scadaboo, Cam, Scadaboo, Jordan Hancock, defensive back, Ohio State, and Terrence Ferguson. The last 3 I got. They got 5 left. They've done 25 of them. But Scadaboo coming in, that's cool.
Yes. He's actually at the airport right now with Nick Carnes. Just throw that out there.
What do you mean with
Nick Carnes? He's going out of town, and I just got a text that he was in the airport with Cam Scadaboo.
Oh, they're not together.
No, but am I going to put it past Nick to get a picture?
Yeah. No. But the way you said it, it made it sound like
I'm
they were.
sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's on his travel companion.
yeah. Carnes is there with Scadaboo,
That'd be crazy.
chilling.
Now I just got a text
Uh,
saying, "Hey, Kim Scottaboo's sitting right in front of me."
get talk to him.
That's
You
what. That's
see
why
if
I
you
didn't
can.
get a chance because we were actually on air when it happened. But
I mean, is it happening right now? Is he next to him right now?
no, this is probably 45 minutes ago. It's right when we started, so close to an
See
hour
if
ago.
he's still in his area. See if we can get him on the show. We'll send him the link. It's worth a shot. Terrence Ferguson, tight end.
hmm
You like him. I like him.
Yeah.
He goes,
Just fantastic linear mover,
yeah.
big athletic. Everything you want to see in a tight end.
Where does Scadaboo come out for you in this running back class?
Oh, dude, like I'm higher on him than most. I'm not disillusioned. Like first off, the funnest tape. He has the funnest tape. It's clownish what he was able to do, and he's not going to be able to get away with that at the next level. Like I completely understand, but I see a phenomenal receiving back in that kid. And what happens usually when a running back comes to the next level? The thing that keeps them off the field is they can't be on the field for third downs. Not this kid. He, if anything, I need him to tone down his aggressiveness in pass pro. He'll try to decleat guys, you know what I mean? But like his ability to motion out and run all types of different routes, he can be a phenomenal short. I think he's 2020 Kareem Hunt right now. Like his ability to get short yardage and be a receiving back, like I'm in.
Yeah.
But he's a part of a committee. I don't think he's going to be some crazy work. He's not going to be what he was at Arizona State, some warlord, barbarian workhorse. But if you pare that down and like get some right pieces around him, I think he'd be a phenomenal asset.
Yeah. I agree.
But his tape is ridiculous. It's so much fun. And you also have to wonder how many undiagnosed concussions this dude has.
I know.
Like so many times you can watch him Captain Caveman that shit into people.
So I've been following these sleepers. We'll probably kind of finish up with the sleepers tonight, and then I'll go through these ones here, and then maybe some of your guys that you want them to target in the later rounds, right?
Okay.
So excuse me. This is the first one from PFF of like their, keep your eye out. These guys, or maybe later in the draft, but are elite prospects, they feel like, right? I know you like the first guy a ton, Damian Martinez.
My guy, yeah.
Transfer 94.3 rushing grade. Third to only Genty and Scadaboo among FBS running backs. 4.5 yards after contact.
Yes.
Second among powerful four tailbacks.
There's a little bit of Marshawn Lynch in his game.
Yeah. So this is an interesting one. Andrew Armstrong, Arkansas. Have you watched any of this kid?
No, but I did. His name actually came across 2 days ago for me.
Armstrong finished 2024 as the fifth most valuable receiver in the nation, according to PFF's win above average metric. His 18 contested catches were tied for fifth among FBS wideouts with 1,140 yards. We're fifth among Power 4 ones. And Armstrong has excellent size at 6'4", who's as reliable as they come. He's not even a top 300 prospect on the consensus board. This is the sleeper of all sleepers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Despite playing like one in the nation's best receivers in the SEC. Andrew Armstrong. Not even in the top 300 consensus board?
Yeah.
Where does that put you
that
in the
just means
draft?
people haven't gotten to him yet. You know what I mean? It's a daunting task. If you look at these guys who put these boards together, like Trevor Sikkema at PFF. Yeah. Like you'll see players that he's much lower on than other people. It's probably because he hasn't gotten a second look at him. You do a preliminary and it's hard to get back into it,
I'm gonna go check him out though. Andrew Armstrong. I mean, 6'4", right?
Mm-hmm.
Could say 18 contested catches. I've been mocking this guy a lot. I like him a ton. Ozzy Trapio. I don't know if that's how you say his
Boston
name.
College, mutant,
Yeah.
6'8",
Yeah. Love him.
little stiff, but when he's a giant. He's a
Yeah.
literal giant.
Also, I've had this guy in a few of my mocks. Aeneas Peebles, Virginia
Mhm.
Tech.
Older prospect. Also another weird build guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I feel like
6'1",
he's weird
290.
bowling ball types.
Yep. Wreaks some havoc, though.
Mm-hmm.
Transfer from Duke, 92.2 pass rush grade.
Couple transfers from Duke that are going to go later. R.J.
Yeah.
Oben from Notre Dame's another one.
Jay Higgins, linebacker, Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is a late round draft pick, right?
Stupid athlete.
Yeah, Higgins was the most valuable linebacker in college football last season. He was similarly dominant in his fifth and final year, as his 91.4 coverage grade led all Power 4 linebackers. Higgins is one of 6 Power 4 linebackers since 2023 with 80-plus grades in both coverage and as a run defender. Joining Jack Kaiser, Edgerrin Cooper, Peyton Wilson, Jeremiah Trotter, and Junior Colson. Give me a break, right? Higgins is currently projected as a 4th-round pick. I see him going a lot later than that.
Yeah. I mean, look, that's probably his ceiling, right?
Yeah.
It's just such a devalued position, and there's going to be athletes available like Kobe King or Nick Martin. These guys are going to, you know.
So these are by round sleepers undervalued in the PFF mock draft simulator. Jahdae Barron, cornerback, Texas. I've watched this kid. I don't understand why he's so high. Do you like
Coming
him?
into the season, everyone just had him pegged as just a slot guy, and like everyone else on Texas's defense, they kind of got played out of position this year. But he swam. They put him outside, and he was able to do it. You know, just shows you that inside out versatility. He's not big though. He tested well. He tested great. But he is on the small side. I don't get the buzz him going as early as people do have him going, but I think he's a talented corner.
Okay. PFF rank has him 7. The mock draft simulator has him going at 25.6. However, like a month ago, he was nowhere to be found. That was my thing, right? Like he kind of popped up out of nowhere, didn't he?
I mean, he was on a watch list that's how I got to him this year.
Yeah.
Going into the year, you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
summer
I
scouting
just didn't
is
see
when he
him
popped for
going in.
me. But everyone thought he was just going to be a slot guy, and then Texas played him outside, and then he did good, man. There are deficiencies in his game that you wonder is he going to be forced to play inside strictly, which obviously lowers your value if that's the way NFL teams see him. But if an NFL team sees him as an outside, I could see him going. Still don't think. To me, he's not a first. But it's also how much of this is Ravel getting hurt. How much of this is Morrison's hip kind of elevating some of these other guys that were those spots would be taken if it wasn't for those injuries.
Yeah, I might have to go back and look at him some more. The versatility is so valuable. So Derek
Then I would
Harmon's
rather
on
have
here.
someone like Jacob Parrish who can play inside and out. I would rather have that guy and get an actual commensurate value for where you're taking him as opposed to having to go up and draft, the top 2 rounds to get the other dude to get Jahdae.
Agreed. Huge fan of Parrish. Parrish is one of my guys, right? I think you like him a lot too. Harmon comes up again here because of these are like discrepancy in where PFF has him ranked and where they're being drafted in the simulators. They have him ranked 30, Derek Harmon, and he's going in the 50s in the projections. It's interesting. Um, Third round, edge Braden Swinson, LSU.
Yeah, he's not a guy I'm in on.
Yep. I don't know about the fit here. And it's not like it takes a lot to fit in Schwartz's scheme, but you know what I mean. You got to be a
If you're not an outlier of an athlete, then you have to be 6'5", 270.
yeah,
If
yeah,
you unless you're an outlier,
yeah,
we've seen it make it work with Obo. It's the reason everybody's in on Abdul is if you're an outlier physically, but if not, they want Alex Wright, they want McGuire, they want that 6'5", 265 strong side edge opposite of Miles.
yeah. And Swinson is what is he? It doesn't say here. But he didn't run the 40 at the combine or his pro day. He did post a 7.133 cone and a
Mhm.
4.33 20-yard shuttle. So he may not be an explosive straight line athlete, but he converts speed to power well and flashes the agility to win inside counters. Um, Given the overall depth of this class, it's difficult to figure out where this guy's going to come in. It's kind
Yeah.
of beauty in the eye of the beholder, right? So is somebody going to fall in love with him and take him, you know, inside the top 100? I don't know. Tough to say. I know you have an opinion on this guy, CJ West, defensive interior, Indiana.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy lateral movement at the line of scrimmage, run stuffer. Dude, just plays with phenomenal leverage, crazy contact balance inside the between the guards there.
Yeah.
I like West.
Huh. Yeah. Fourth round, they have him here. PFF rank 69.
It's just such a
Mock
deep
draft.
defensive tackle class. I could see that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mock
I
draft.
would, I would, I'm not going to be shocked if he goes at the end of day 2, but he could still be there in the 4th round.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking, yeah. Um,
We don't have a 4th round
mock
pick outside of 104 though, so that sucks.
Dude, we're gonna talk about that in a second. The mock draft simulator, ADP 133.5
Yeah.
compared to 69 PFF rank. Um, all right, so uh, this one has some other guys on this list that we're very familiar with. Uh, you know, Dante Thornton, I've been mocking like
Mhm.
almost every other week as a guy that's late.
Height, weight, speed project.
Yeah. Um, he's a fun watch. Daquan Felton, Virginia Tech. You got your eyes on him yet?
Yeah.
You
Yeah, I'll
like
watch
him?
that. I'm not overwhelmed.
Okay.
No.
Four
I
four
mean,
two guy.
yeah.
Not great production, but he's a freak. He's 6'4". Right. Tootin's on this list, and then Charles Grant, William, and Mary is on this list. I think we both like him, right?
Yeah, super disappointed he wasn't able to go to the Senior Bowl and compete because I thought he was really going to put on a show.
Yeah. So that gets us through the tracker and just to satisfy our world's fastest request the other night of not talking about the top 3 picks as much. I wanted us to get to some depth in this
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. So 13 more sleep screamers out. Do love South Carolina, Texas A&M defenders. Sorry,
I would
I
throw
wasn't.
Ole Miss on that in that group.
Yeah, absolutely.
Teams that didn't
So
win shit, but man, they're going to put a lot of dudes in the league.
Malachi Moore, safety, Alabama.
You've mocked him before.
I've mocked him before. I had him late though. He comes up very late in
Yeah,
simulators,
sixth round, 7th round, beginning of
seventh
the 7th.
even. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. So any of your guys you want to throw out that you want.
You give me a position, I'll give you some.
We talked about who's your like let's go like day 3. Who's your favorite day 3 um corner?
It's gonna be a toss up between Kobe Bryant from Kansas and Quincy Riley from Louisville.
Ooh, you like both of those guys?
Yes, I do. See, Kobe Bryant plays with. He's like an asshole out there. I love it.
Yeah.
I love dudes who play with that kind of an edge. Uh, he
Yeah.
he he was listed, I think, at like 6'1" or 6'2". He's only like 5'11", like 5'10" and change. I think he's skinny. Plays his long arms. Plays. Some people view him just as strictly as a zone. I don't. I like him in press man, but he has to get hands on you early. It's an Emerson situation. He has to get hands on you early and then can compete throughout the rep, and he's nasty at the catch point. One of the better guys that once the ball's in the air, he gets eyes on it quick. And he's got really good ball skills. If he gives free releases, he can be beat. But we're talking about day 3 guys, right? Like, I like that. Quincy Riley's another guy. Plays big, phenomenal ball skills. There are some stiffness. There's some stiffness to him, and he's not going to do dick and run support. But as far as like receivers, receivers are dead to rights when they catch it when he's out there. But he's not going to give you anything in run support. I like both those guys for day 3.
Kobe is interesting. Yeah, you gotta love like what he brings on the field, like the asshole, like his name.
Yeah,
Like that's the thing that Emerson brought initially, right?
he's a
And
dude that if he's on your team, you love it, and if he's on the opposing team, you hate it.
that's what you want in a like. You almost have to be that guy as a cornerback in the NFL to have success. You have to have like zero memory, zero for the last play, and always think you're the man.
Mm-hmm.
And then
The brown mamba. Here we go. Print the shirts, boys.
Oh, that's beautiful. Good
Print the
stuff,
shirts.
Levi. Levi brings up Upton Stout. Is he a safety? Isn't he
No,
a safety?
no, he's a slot. He's that dude is a junkyard dog.
Yeah.
That's another dude I would pound the table for. But we need to start getting some guys in who can play outside. We've gotten a couple guys now that we still need to find out what they have that can give me at nickel. So if you're going to draft a corner, I prefer to see someone come to the outside now.
Yeah. That's where I'm gonna go. Noel Williams.
Okay. California.
Yeah. He's a man guy. He fits their coverage style. But he's a willing run defender, 6'1", 200 pounds.
Can I give an honorable mention?
Yeah.
BJ Adams, UCF.
Okay.
Pressed man, tall, lanky, feisty. I wouldn't even know. I didn't watch any UCF games. Just I was watching tape, and it was Travis Hunter. He gave Travis Hunter the business a few times. Like, he definitely flashed for me. And you just look at his measurables, and he's a guy that might be someone who's available at 216.
Yeah.
If you haven't went corner by that point, to get someone with that kind of length, which they like long corners, and he's strictly a press man guy in my
mind. Our guy, Parrish.
Yes.
We both like him. I think we both like Strong as well, right?
Dorian Strong, yeah.
Yeah. Those guys are like just outside of the top 100 for a lot. So you can get some good value there, but Parrish, I think, is better than that. He may go earlier than that.
People might be spooked by his size because he is 5'9". He plays way bigger than that, though.
He does. And, he's 21 years old. From what I've watched of him, the impressive aspect of him is, and a lot of people are talking about him as he'll be a nickel in the NFL, but I would just try him on the outside first, at least.
Yeah.
He's a little small for that, right? But like his ability to make up ground, like make up speed, recovery speed is elite. Like you see him get beat sometimes, and he's still able to get back on the play like a
Yeah,
lot. So,
yeah, I'm in. I'm
um,
in.
yeah, I like him a lot. All right, let's do another position. You pick the position this time. We're doing day 3 guys we like.
I'm just trying to think of maybe something we haven't touched on very much. Um, we kind of I don't do safety because we just did corner.
Yeah.
Let's roll offensive line. You can go interior or offensive tackle.
At that point, it's hard to really call somebody a true tackle, isn't it? Um, day 3. Well, we just mentioned one. I don't think he gets to day 3. I don't think there's any way Charles Grant gets to day 3, right?
He might be there at 104.
You think?
Maybe. I mean, there's obviously look his traits, right? You look at a kid and he needs to put on weight, and you're coming from William and Mary, so there's a big projection there. But when you look at his movement skills, like dudes that are that long with, I think he's 300, I think he weighed in at like, was it 310? He didn't play at 310. You can tell, look at his tape, but those movement skills will get him picked. I would say Carson Vincent, Alabama A&M.
Mm-hmm.
That's someone I'm in on for sure. I think he'll make it to day 3.
I think we already got one Cornelius. Why not add another? I think the kid from Oregon.
Ajani
Yeah.
Cornelius
Um,
came
he's an
from like Rhode
intriguing.
Island. Is that where he played? Before he transferred.
Yeah, he's an intriguing prospect. Day 3. Like I
Yeah.
think he could play some tackle,
Mm-hmm.
but
Obviously, when you get to day 3, though, like you said, there's not going to be a ton of like true tackles. There's going to be a few.
yeah.
Um, but like if we're looking in the interior, I like Connor Colby
Yep.
from Iowa. I like him. I like Eric Gray from Oregon State. I love, and this is irrational, and I know it's not, but Willie Lampkin from North Carolina, dude. Like, I can't quit that little dude. I just can't do it.
Lampkin.
I know it doesn't make sense. He's smaller than me. He shouldn't. There's no way this dude should be playing the NFL in the trenches. But like, I can't quit him.
All right, real quickly, let's pivot to because world's fastest said defensive tackle. It's a deep class, right?
Mhm. Yeah, we've kind of
Um,
talked to a few of these guys
y-
already.
yeah, we have. So we know we like Ty Robinson. He keeps showing up late. Do you think he goes earlier than people are like mocking him out?
Yeah, he's a little older of a prospect that might push him down some boards because it's such a deep class. So if it comes down and that's the tiebreaker between some guys,
Yeah.
maybe that pushes him down just a little bit. But like he's a he keeps showing up at 179, right? And I'm not
Yep.
going to not take him. But
At 179.
I think that you might have to, if you really want Ty Robinson, he'd be a guy that I would trade up to 139 with Minnesota. I would do
Hmm.
that for a player like that. He's a berserker. And I see one in the chat, Cam Jackson. That is true. If you're not in the Deone Walker, get Cam Jackson.
Cam Jackson is fun, man. He is a
Another guy,
mammoth.
first out the bus type dude, just a massive human.
Yes. Um, where does Jamari Caldwell fall for you? Is he before day 3? Massive
He's a run
human.
stuffer. He's super quick off the ball for someone who weighs. He doesn't look like he weighs 340 pounds, but he
No.
is a bowling ball. Don't get me wrong. Like he's exceptional quickness, but he's not much of a pass rusher. Although he gets
Mm-mm.
off the ball so quick, you think you could implement some of that into his game. He tore up at the Senior Bowl, man. I was very
Yeah.
impressed by Jamari Caldwell.
Yeah. Tim Smith is down here always. Alabama. You see Alabama down here, and you get intrigued. But I don't think he fits what Schwartz wants to do very well.
No, but that boring ass name's helping push him down the boards, right?
Yeah. Right.
Like most
Uh, you like Zeke Biggers, don't you?
like Biggers. I like a couple of massive prospects that are available super late. Um, I can't pronounce his name, but I call him Yaya Black, the kid from Iowa. also massive human being. He keeps showing up at 255, and by that point, I've usually already picked up a defensive interior player. So I don't double up on that position. So because I think you're decent there. But he's a player. If you haven't picked one up and you get to the 7th, say, look, Levi, I see you.
Mm.
He's a player I'd be into.
Newsom and Pierce. Or
Holland Pierce,
yeah.
Jack
That's
Nelson from
offensive tackles. Yeah.
Jack Nelson's another one. He keeps showing up late. I don't know if he'll be there. It's like it feels. Is there a safer like feeling like, oh, I just took a offensive tackle from Wisconsin? Feels pretty
Yeah.
safe.
Yeah, it
So
does.
that sentence is like a warm blanket around you.
Yeah. It's like I took a tight end from Iowa.
Yeah, like it just sounds like it's going to work out.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of Luke Lecce, you like him?
I like Luke Lachey. Who's this Luke Lachey kid you keep talking about?
Lecce. That's what I call him.
Okay.
Lachey. What is he, a
It's
boy
Jim.
band?
If it wasn't Jim's son, I wouldn't say anything. If it's Jim Lachey's son, gotta say it.
What is he? What is he, in a boy band here?
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah. He's Nick Lachey's brother.
Nick Lachey.
No, but he's older, but he's strictly an offensive, like he's going to be a passing type weapon. He's also had he's had a lot of injuries, but if like you're looking at look at Levi. Iowa has a lot of players I like for a team that sucks.
Yeah, they do.
I like Caleb Johnson. I like a lot of players. Like Sebastian Castro's too old. I don't think they'll go for it, but I like him. I like the player.
Yeah, he's a good safety. Jared Ivey is a ton of fun, but he's a round 2 guy, I think, right? Day 2.
If you're talking about like just strong side type, like 6'5", 275, like he is the thing that they look for in those guys. But I don't think they're going to take the stab at his strong side edge that early. If they don't go Carter, I don't think they just double back. Like if I don't get Carter and I'm looking for that skill set, give me Oladejo from UCLA at like 94. I think it's a dude. He's so, if same story and everything. Ex linebacker converts.
His wingspan
shows you all the
measurements.
Yeah,
he is long, man, and you can see it when he's coming off the edge. He's just got that reach.
And anyone who's ever been in a room with him comes back just beaming about him as a person. You know what I mean? Like he sounds like And when you watch the Senior Bowl, he was like a coach on the field.
That's awesome. Good stuff. All right, guys, I'm getting out of here. I'm sore.
T's and P's, my man.
2 hours. It was
we said it was going to be short.
Yeah, well, hey, man, I hung him in there for an hour and 40 minutes to talk sleepers.
Man. Mad props to you. Get that order, Joe.
Got it. Yeah, we'll get that popping. Thank you, World's Fastest, for that advice.
All right, so next week, me and you have to show up with our 33 already done.
Oh, I know.
And we'll go over it.
It's already clocked up here, man.
All right.
It's already clocked.
It's your
homework. I already got you
time.
beat up here.
And like I said, I'll send you the link to what Jacob posted for to get this thing off the ground.
Yeah,
we'll put it underneath the video so people can play along with us, man.
You're losing the spam bet already, so
I don't know that. Could I? Yes, I could. But no, I don't know that.
Get your spam ready. He may be talking to me though, so I don't know.
I know they're talking to me, Brad. All this, like the times I've had to see spam Kinnamon written, just read those 2 words together. Like it's. So when I was teething as a kid, my mom dropped me off at her parents' house, and she came back. My dad her dad, my grandfather was rubbing Evan Williams sour mash on my gums.
Yeah. So they used to do it.
Oh, Levi popped in with Spam Ward.
So no, Levi.
Don't
do it to me.
Go, Levi.
Don't you put that on me. You know that Dart's going in the first round.
I don't
I've
know
seen
it.
him mocked
Could he?
all the
Yeah,
way up at. I've seen him mocked all the way up at 9 lately.
yeah, yeah. You have. And when I look at Fitz, I view him as a project. But if you look like a system person like Kellen Moore, he might just look at him as an avatar, someone he could plug in and teach him that system. And so because people act like I don't hate the kid, man. I think he's a top 70 prospect. I'm not saying the moon's made of cheese. I don't, to me it's a reach, but a lot of people are in on him.
A lot of
On
people
a
got
one
him as
read
QB
quarterback
two.
who reads half the field and has to have his hand held, but it's cool.
But he hasn't been tested beyond that.
Oh no, but there were times where Lane couldn't hold his hand and he couldn't operate.
Okay,
I've
but
seen that happen.
but
It is what it is.
it's the train. It's what can you project him when you get in a room with him and you talk to him? Do you think he's
Mhm.
smart enough to figure that out in the
Yeah, he
future?
might be. I don't know. I've never been in a room with him.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, that's what they're banking on.
All right. Thank you guys. Wonderful. Best chat in all the world. Have a great night. Thanks for the advice and the well wishes. Right back at you all. And hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Three Sleeps Case. Any parting words?
Stay humble, LeBron.
For real, though. Throwing people under the bus. All right. We're out. Everybody have a lovely evening. This has been another edition of All Eyes on Cleveland. For Casey Kinnamon, my name is Brad Ward. Have a fantastic evening. We are out.